23 years of periods. I could go through every year if you wanted. Day one, my first period. I feel like we're going to fall out in this podcast. I'm like, well, this sounds not good.
Episode 3. I can't believe we're 3 episodes in.
I actually can't do that.
And we've not been cancelled yet.
Not yet.
So we did quite well in 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Staying on a theme.
A little bit.
Today is going to make Dave incredibly uncomfortable, unfortunately. He may learn a thing or two. He's just put his thumbs up like, yay, uncomfortable. We're going to talk about periods.
My favourite subject.
I know. Fun fact, I phoned Rebecca and because the first podcast we did it my way, which was wing it, no structure, let's be chaotic, talk about whatever the fuck comes up. She was like, I think we need some structure. I just could do with a little bit of structure.
Just some perimeters to work with.
Yeah, just a little, please. And I was like, okay, she's maybe got a point. So we've got structure today.
We have.
And we had structure the last one. Mm-hmm. So I phoned her and I was like, okay, so this is what we want to do about episode 2. Maybe episode 3, I would love to talk about periods. So I was like, do you think we can talk about periods for 45 minutes? And what did you say?
I was like, yeah, I can talk about for 7 hours.
7 hours.
I could.
So today's 7-hour podcast.
I mean, you're talking 23 years of periods. I could go through every year if you wanted.
Just a diary.
Year 1. Remember the Friends? Day 1. My first period. I mean, don't you know that clip? No. Okay. Do you watch Friends?
Yeah, well, right. But I'm one of these people, that I'll watch a show, right?
Yeah.
This is, it probably needs studying. I'll watch a show and I'll be on like season 3 and then I'll go, oh, that was his sister. And Phil will be like, are you fucking taking the piss? I can watch something and enjoy it and it'll be great. Instantly gone. I don't have enough room to remember stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch Game of Thrones again at the end of this year.
Yeah.
It'll be like I've watched it for the first time.
Oh, yeah. I do get a bit like that.
I don't remember a thing that happened.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I watched The Devil Wears Prada too recently and I was like, I don't know what happened in the first one. Yeah.
Like what happened. So it's a skill. I'm proud of it. I can rewatch stuff. Great. Okay, so periods. Yeah. Now, I think it's probably... really sorry, Dave. I'm just going to keep apologising. It's going to be quite gross.
Why is it gross?
All right. Okay, yeah, that's a stigma. Okay. Fuck. I know, it's not gross. We're talking about periods. We need to empower the period.
Sometimes it is a little gross.
Yeah. Sometimes it gets gross. So I think we should start with... we always lead the podcast going,
my first
I'm so vulnerable. I was really open there. And now I'm like, let's be open.
Yeah.
So we're going to start by talking about our very first period. So would you like to go first or?
I don't mind.
Should we flip a coin?
If you want. I've got a flip a coin app on my phone. I've been using it to make choices in my life recently.
Go on, let's get the app out.
Like a lot of choices in my life. Honestly. Because you get like decision fatigue.
Yeah.
So I just flip a coin.
It's not that I get decision fatigue.
And one side of the coin, you're like this, says, in God we trust. And I didn't know that. And I was like, right, well, it's God's decision.
I'm in my curly.
Are you ready? So do you want to be God or do you want to be tails? Obviously. So your heads and tails. Flip. It's flipping. It's flipping. Oh.
The suspense.
Yeah.
Hey,
God herself.
I believe God is a woman. Okay. So, first periods. I actually remember it vividly. And I feel like if you ask most women, they will, won't they?
I think so, yeah.
So I remember being told in high school. Now, first of all, we'll go back to this, but I remember being told in high school and we had some big assembly with all the girls in the school and someone came in and they had a big PowerPoint presentation and they spoke about period.
I'm not laughing at you, I'm just laughing at the vibe.
I'm rolling there like... Spoke about periods, spoke about sanitary products, you know, and having a hot bath. Like, if you have a bath on your period, you're not going to, it's not going to be like fucking Jaws. Like,
oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So they taught you all these things. Very informative. So the day my period came, I was like, I know what I'm doing.
Oh.
I went and got my sanitary towel, put it in my knickers, came downstairs. I think it was about like, I was in year 7, so what is that, like 12, 13.
Yeah.
Come downstairs and I was like, Mum, I've got my period. And she was like, oh. She's dead excited about it. So I knew what was happening. It was in the morning. I knew what sanitary products to get. I knew where they were. I was very well prepared. I went downstairs, I told my mum. My mum was like, right, today's the day you become a woman.
Oh.
So I was like, yes. So she went, what are we going to do after school? I'm going to take you, I'm going to get you a full outfit.
Oh.
So you're going to laugh at my outfit choice. She's like, I'm going to get you a full outfit, shoes, everything to mark the day you became a woman. And I remember this day and going shopping for the things because I became a woman.
She still got the outfit.
No, incidentally, I was going through a Mosher phase, so I got a Limp Bizkit jumper.
Oh, stop it.
I got a Limp Bizkit jumper and I got these big baggy flare jean pants that got all frayed at the bottom because he was too long, and these big, like, I think there was like Vans trainers or something. Yeah, I was full on was that girl.
I want you to be that girl, yeah. So much of you makes so much sense now, like you and Phil.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I'm that girl.
Bleep as well.
Oh yeah. That's Bleep's my child. Should I call Bleep?
Like, you're always like, don't know where I found her, but she's a bit like that, isn't she?
Yeah. Yeah, she loves Avril Lavigne and like, but that's very
I
much.
loved Avril Lavigne. Yeah.
I took her to her first concert, which was Avril Lavigne.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Oh, she loved it. So that was kind of my first story. I'll remember it forever. And when Bleep becomes of age, I will take her. Now, just before we hear about yours, before I forget, I found out in high school what to do. Bleep's in year 4. They've had this conversation in this lesson now.
Yeah.
Okay, you're up. First period story.
And what do you think about that then?
No, we'll
or
go
do you want
back
to come
to
back
that,
to
yeah.
it? So mine, funny enough, I was like, I'm not going to be embarrassed talking about this, but this part, I remember my mum was so good and some people's aren't, right? I used to do, not some people's mums aren't good, fucking hell.
Some people's mums are dick.
Some people didn't get informed about it. That's what I mean, sorry. But my mum, when my boobs started to grow, like sat me down and basically was like, you know, your period might come basically. But I was about 2 years prior that started happening. So she told me, and I remember she said something about eventually I think she explained like literally periods are eventually for like, you can have a baby. Because I remember where we were sitting, it was in our old house. So I was pre-age 11. And I remember going to her, I'm only 10. And she like gave me a hug. And then when I got it, I was in my bunk bed. And I woke up in the night and was like in a lot of pain.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember pain.
I went to the toilet and there was obviously blood. And then I woke up the next morning and it was everywhere. And then my mum was like, okay, and changed my pajamas. And I remember the pajamas and everything. It's so weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then bless yours is a bit cuter. They took me to McDonald's, my mum and my dad. And I remember I was like with this burger and I was in so much pain and felt so sick.
Really?
Yeah. And obviously I couldn't eat, like, you know, when I was 10.
Now though.
Yeah.
So that was from your very first one?
Not so bad anymore. Like, as you know, I could talk about, like, I've done so much work around it. It's like the first bit, the first half a day, and that's it. I don't suffer after that. It's so bizarre. I'd love to get the answer for it. It's the one thing I feel, the one symptom I haven't, like, kind of healed. But in some ways, I'm grateful for it because it makes me very present. Would I rather not have it? Yeah. But it's very humbling, I think. But, yeah, and then I went home and I just was in bed and yeah, that was it. Like, that was my first story.
Actually a little, not like sad as in like, oh, that's really sad, but that actually makes me sad, and we're going to go on to this later on. Like, I've got a whole thing to go on to this, but isn't it so different the way you've experienced your day and you remember all this pain? And I just remember mine strutting around getting my Limp Bizkit thing and I don't have painful periods.
No,
I don't. Like, maybe now in my mid-30s, they've started to change a lot, and we'll talk about this as well. But it's mad, like, from the very first one, this experience is not like a universal experience. I'm sure your story, and if we got 10 other women in this room now, they'd all be so different, wouldn't they?
I used to do, as you know, like, very solely focused on womb healing and periods and stuff. And I used to hold women's circles, and one of the things was we would share the first story, and everybody's was so different, so different. And then I used to do this meditation with them as well, where I would get them to go back, because for so many people the moment isn't nice. Like, even though mine was like, yeah, I was in pain, the moment was nice. Like, I feel like it was, my mum informed me to an extent, I suppose. And my mum also gave me this little, I have to find if I've still got it right. It's from like the 1970s, like this little book. And she gave it to me because my mum has 4 brothers who are like way older than her. So the brothers' wives all like very much like she was the only girl, you know, she was like the little girl in their lives and all that. And she took my mum and like gave her this little book, and my mum gave me the little book. But you know, like I do keep a lot of stuff, but I'm not 100% sure where I'm at. I know, and I can bring it in. That would be cute, wouldn't it? So my mum had that from my auntie Mary it was, and so she kind of passed it on to me. I can't remember what I was saying. Oh, lots of women. So I used to do this meditation around like we'd go back to your first period and then we'd redo it and say like to yourself in the mirror or something like, congratulations, today's the day that you became a woman.
Yeah.
But after this one episode, after this one
podcast, it's your first time.
After this one meditation, this girl said to me, you know what, I didn't like that because I was just a little girl and I didn't want to become a woman. And I was like, yeah.
Because it's right.
Now you're 11. You're like, well done, you're a woman now.
This is the thing that I'm now going to talk about. So I remember vividly in my old high school, I remember everyone being, all of us doing this.
Did you go to a girls' school?
No.
Oh, right.
The boys they probably went and did fucking,
learned about erections.
Oh, gross, yeah, probably. Look at me. Erections are gross. I'm quite fond of them. I'm glad that men have them. Love that. Oh, no, listen, you're going to die. So anyway, I was that age. So you'd already kind of familiar with what's going on, but it's just like, this is the facts and this is what you need to do to get ready. My kid's 9 and they're having, so they sent a letter out saying that this is what we're going to talk about. And I was like, whoa. What business have you got teaching my 9-year-old about sex? Like, can we just fucking pull back? And they're like, no. We're talking about body parts, what they each have, but it's not how to use them and what that is like. So I was like, okay, that's less gross and scary because what the fuck are you teaching a 9-year-old about sex for? Please leave that till they're a little bit older. Like, it's just odd. But teaching them about the parts and like, you know, you don't show people this and what, fine, all for it. All for talking about periods. The reason that they brought it forward is because girls as young as 8 and 9 are now having their cycle. They're starting their periods that young. And I don't know if it's a combination of like how deep are we going to go here? So many people are on birth control, contraceptives, that it's now getting into our water. And now, you know, hormone disruptors, like people wearing plastics on the body all the time, this overthink of plastics, it's disrupting our hormones. Is that now causing, if you look back hundreds of thousands of years ago, the start of menstruation was 17, 18 years old.
Was it?
Yeah. The first documented periods were 17, 18 years old. You look at it now, kids as young as 9
it's savage,
are starting the period. So rightly so, when she said, I didn't want to be a woman, I don't want my 9-year-old to be a woman. She's not.
No,
she's a little girl. What are you talking about? She's a woman. No, she's not. So that is such a big, drastic change. Even from when I was a kid to now my child having these conversations at 9 years old. That's a lot.
But I guess if, like you say, if people are starting them at 8 at 9, it's got to be hard, hasn't it? It's such a difficult thing. I mean, I don't have kids, as you know, and it's when is the right time? I don't know. Are they better informed? Are they better not informed? It's probably strange for you, isn't it? Because you're like, what? That's my little girl.
What are you talking about?
Like, that's my little girl. What are you doing?
She's still got
like,
a little girl body. What are you on about?
She's a little girl, but I guess that change does happen so rapidly. She's what, 9?
Yeah.
10, 11. It's often the same time as your mum, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it can be. I don't know, because obviously you've got 2 lots. It might be menopause that actually. I think they say menopause is the same time your mum went through it. Yeah.
But no, it's good. And I'm glad. Oh, this is what you was going to die laughing. So anyway, they've obviously, so what they did is they talk about the body parts in class, which was, you know, probably hilarious for them. She went, and Phil was sat there and she went, oh, you know what else we learned that? Like, sometimes a boy's penises just stand up dead straight. It's so weird. Why did they do that? And I just went, oh, do you know, they just do. I wasn't prepared to have the conversation with her at that age, but she was like, and they just stand up. I was like, oh, yeah. And it was like, she wanted to leave. She wanted the ground to swallow him up, He wanted the ground to swallow him up. And I was like, oh, do you know, babe, they just do. That's just what happens.
That's what's a weird thing, isn't it? Being taught something when you're little.
Too
because
young.
You don't. I remember my mum, and my mum was good telling me, but I couldn't really comprehend what she was telling me.
I used to have to hide it from her. Like, if you're a young child, my kid is going to run. Like, she's not going to do as she's told. I come out of a public bathroom the other day, right? Just came out, and there was some woman's little tiny boy, young, maybe just a bit older than a toddler.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, where the fuck's his mum? Then his mum came out and she was like, oh, thanks for waiting. I was like, whoa. If I give my child the instruction to wait there while I have a wee, she would have been fucking off. The last thing she would have done is stood there still and waited for me. So she had to come in the bathroom with me.
Oh, yeah.
She
I was like, where's this going?
But then if I was on my period and I needed to change, I'd be like, oh, can you turn around? And she'd be like, turn around. Because I'd have to, it's changed the tampon. And I didn't want to have to explain to a very young child why I've just pulled out essentially a dead mouse of my vagina. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But should I hide it from her, or should I just been like, this is just what happens? Like, is it scary for someone who's that young?
I don't think it'd be scary if she'd always seen it.
I just hid it.
I think whatever is normal is normal. I don't know. I haven't got kids, so I don't know. I would never like to comment on the...
Yeah, but you've been a kid.
A thing. I don't remember my mum talking about her periods when I was growing up, but it was different, right? I will definitely talk to my child about my period.
Well, I've had to now, so I use an app, one of these period tracker apps, and I couldn't be without it. It's amazing. And we're going to go off on a real deep tangent now, which is going to be fabulous.
Okay.
But they have this app and it gives you like your full cycle.
Yeah.
But it colour coordinates
yeah,
it.
Yeah, got it. Well,
so it's very aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
And the purple week is the week, the luteal phase, essentially.
Yeah.
The week before your actual period. Yeah.
I'm in my little row now.
Yeah. The luteal phase is where I can sometimes be a fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
And I've had to show bleep the name, please. I don't want to make her famous, because we're going to be so famous on this podcast. But I've had to show her this purple week. I'm in my purple week. I might be a bit more snappy and short, and I might tell you off more. I don't mean it. It's just this week you feel like this. By next week in Red Week, I'm going to be sweet again. So I'm already encouraging her to be cycle aware.
Yeah.
Because when I was 14 and I was hanging out with boys, you know what I got done? I got shoved on the pill.
Yeah. The one thing I always think, like when I gained that interest in the actual phases of the cycle, I became like, so like, I was like, this needs to be taught in schools. Like, this was the missing piece of the information. Like, yeah, I got told about my period. Yeah, I got told I might get pregnant. I didn't get told I can only get pregnant one day of the month.
Is it one day?
Well, it's 5 days technically, but it's one day. The sperm can live in the womb for up to 5 days, but there's only one day that you can get pregnant.
Yeah,
it's 12 to 24
window.
hours, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, there's 5 days like prior, but you're still not going to get pregnant till the one day that your egg gets released. It's not over the time of the 5 days. It might just be the sperm lives on. It's nice and solid, you know? So you don't know all of those different things. And I do think being more educated around that is unbelievably helpful. There's something else that you've just said. With the pill.
Oh. Literally 14 years old. My endocrine system didn't have a fucking clue. No. And respectfully, it was the same with my mum. My mum ended up on the pill at a young age. No one, even when I was a teenager, was educated enough. Now, the knock-on effect that has had for me and my whole life, fucking catastrophic.
I don't even think we're aware of how bad the consequences
I'm aware.
are. Do you know one of the things, so this is like, it will incite all of the female rage, but when I used to hold these women's circles, we would obviously talk about all this different stuff and blah, 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 blah. And I remember this one particular women's circle where, I'm not going to exaggerate here, but like, I can't remember the exact numbers, but there was about 7 women, separately, there was 20 women, but there was about 7 women who got told that they got told to put on the pill, to go on the pill when they were like early ages.
Yeah.
And none of the reasons why they got told to go on the pill was for contraception. It was like for their mood, for their skin.
Yeah.
And the answer is just the pill. Even my sister said to me the other day, I don't think she'll mind me saying this, we were talking about just some things she's got going on and whatever, and I said, yeah, maybe just go and get some bloods done. And she was like, I would, but they'll just put me on the pill, won't they? And we laughed because I was like, well, that's the mindset, isn't it? Because that is what they'll say. Like, you'll go and they'll be like, do you want to go on the pill?
Well, right. So this is probably a tangent that we'll have to come back from. So like,
yeah. That's fine, because I think I was at the
too.
end of that. Oh, yeah.
So I think, and I'm not a doctor, and I would love to get someone on to talk about this who's an actual professional.
Yeah.
But because I was on the pill for so young, and I've spoke to you about this a lot, privately, I don't think my endocrine system, my hormone system had a chance to actually fully figure itself out on its own with no synthetic influence. Mm-hmm. It didn't, right? Mm-hmm. So I was on the pill all the way up until I tried to conceive. Mm-hmm. I came off the pill for a month, right? Had my first normal period since being on the pill. The month after that, I conceived, right? Mm-hmm. So then I had 9 months of not being on the pill. You know, your hormones are doing all the kinds of things anyway. Straight after having my baby, I went back on the pill.
Oh, wow.
Till I was 30, right? So from 14 to 30. And it was only at 30 that I started to wake up to things that I was naive. Who I was 6 years ago and who I am today, whole different person. So when I came off at 30, right, I was just not okay. Like, I was not okay. I broke up with Phil. I was like, don't love him anymore. Like, all these things were happening. It was my hormones just trying to. I don't think they have ever recovered, right? Mm-hmm. To the point where now I've just recently been to the doctors and I'm going to be open and honest and talk about it. And I've had my bloods done and I went in with this big long list of things. I'd tracked my period for months. Like, for the last 2 years, things have been weird for me. Tracked everything for 2 years and I was like, building myself up, right? I'm going to have to go to the doctor and be like, look, I think I'm in perimenopause. I'm only 36. And I went in with pretty much ready to fight with this woman because I thought she's not going to believe me. Mm-hmm. And I finished talking and she was like, no, I agree. I believe you. I think you're in perimenopause. And I was like, whoa. So she did my bloods, my testosterone on the floor, in the bin, checked out ages ago, doesn't exist, fuck. So all these symptoms I've been experiencing, she was like, well, that's going to be a great deal. And she wants to put me on cyclical progesterone where I take it a little bit and take it off. So when they say, oh, they're going to shove you on the pill, I am so fucking grateful she's going to give me hormones because I have not been myself for the last 2 years. Yeah. And it's because of my hormones. So is that because I was on from so young?
It's one of them things, isn't it? We'd speculate and I would say, yeah, probably. Yeah. But because they go, there's no evidence about that actually.
Surely there's evidence.
I don't think there is. I don't think there is studies about that sort of stuff. It's a well-known thing, isn't it? There's not enough studies about women and there's no, how could they know what you would be like now if you didn't have the pill versus having the pill, because you are an individual and a variable. There's no real way of knowing unless you did a study on, I've never really been on the pill, to be honest. I went on it, I had really bad acne when I was growing up, so it's a known thing that the standard pill, I don't know what it is that they give to everyone, can make your skin worse. So not until I was about, I think I was 18, maybe, there was this particular one. It's called something beginning with D. Someone might be able to find the name.
Maybe Dave will do
it. Yeah, it's something with D. But it's meant to be good if you've got acne. So it helps with your skin. But there's a lot of warnings with it, a bit like with Roaccutane, where they're it can make you think. And it did make me quite sad, and I put weight on as well. And I just knew. It's so funny with me because we were talking about being self-aware on the last podcast and body aware and stuff like that. I think those were the moments where I started to go, I wasn't awake in any way or healthy or things like that, but I was like, something's not right here.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, I just didn't then take it. But my skin was a huge motivator for a lot of stuff. So if something made my skin feel off or I felt more puffy, and I didn't have it. And even though I've had painful periods, I've always had pretty regular periods and pretty standard set. I know the process. I didn't really become very aware of it until I was about 26, what was actually going on. But yeah, I don't think my hormones are balanced as such, but there's a lot of things, a lot of people have said to me. There was a girl that I know, again, I won't say her name, but I used to say a lot about the pill and yada, yada, yada. I keep my mouth shut a bit more now. So it's as young and naive as, people have different reasons for saying things. But this one particular girl, anyway, kept telling me she didn't want kids, right? And she was on the pill and stuff, and whatever, through our time together, I don't know whether it was because of me or like a lot of people, she just decided to come off contraception. And as soon as she came off contraception, she suddenly got the desire to have a child.
No way.
And she herself, and she now has a child. And she couldn't believe it because she genuinely thought she didn't want kids.
It changes you, and there is studies to show that when you are on contraception, the type of man you find attractive is different. Yeah. And that was a really weird shift for me, because I broke up with Phil. I was just like, oh, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. And it wasn't until my hormones must have like leveled out that then I was like, oh yeah. But that was a really hard thing, because I was like, I love this man. I've loved this man for years. What is this change? He was patient enough to go through those things with me and know that it's not her, it's going to balance out. And it took me probably a good 6 to 12 months to balance out. And luckily we rode the wave, and obviously I do find him attractive. I do love him. Yeah. Nothing's changed in that sense.
Yeah.
But because my hormones were so changed, that affects the type of man you find attractive. Yeah.
Well, we know how much our hormones change us because we know how much you change throughout the month, right? So I remember reading a thing, and again, I don't know if this 100% true, but it's like, say the amount of hormones you're supposed to have is like, you know, I don't know, like I'm like the
proper measuring
like
tool.
the 100th of a teaspoon. Like a pill is a teaspoon of hormones.
Wow.
And you should be having like, you know, the size of a grain of sand, for example, of hormones. Like that might not be exactly correct, but there is something related to that. But it's like you're being pumped so much with it.
From young ages.
Of course it's causing problems. And then you look at all of the womb issues. You know what? I remember in one of my womb yoga courses, right? They were like, right, we're going to list out all of the diseases of the womb. So they had like a chart up. And it was like fucking heartbreaking. And they're like this, and then this, and then this, and then this. And like all this big long list. And you're like, how can that much be going wrong?
With the womb,
With the female body? Like, what is going on?
What is going on?
Why is there that much suffering to that extent? Like, it's wild.
So, you know, I do a lot of work with women with endometriosis, right? And I've spoke to hundreds of them over the last sort of year. And one story that they will pretty much all tell you, and right, I just want to caveat this with the fact that I am not a doctor, I'm not a gynecologist, I'm not a specialist, I'm not claiming to be, I'm not trying to give medical advice. Like, what other disclaimers you have to say when you're about to say something like this?
I think
like,
medical advice
is this is not medical advice, this is just
your
my
observation.
Opinion and my observation, When speaking to these women, and heartbreakingly, I have spoken to women who say, oh, my issues first started when I first started my period. I was in excruciating pain. I was 9. And I'm just floored because, like I've said, I've got a 9-year-old, and like it actually makes my eyes well up with tears because I think I couldn't imagine trying to comfort her at 9 years old, being in excruciating pain, knowing that endometriosis is a condition that is probably going to take her 9 years to get taken seriously for. That even when she's taken seriously and she's got a diagnosis, there's nothing to be done. So these women will go to the doctors, and the first thing they'll say is, go on the pill, go on the coil, go on this, go on that. And does it actually help? I don't know. Is there studies to show that hormones are responsible for the growth of it? Yeah, estrogen can make endometriosis grow, right? Quicker, thicker, yeah. But so there's probably a premise and a very valid scientific reason that I don't know, because again, I'm not a doctor, to put these women on hormones. But what a sad state of affairs. I didn't want to be on hormones. Like, if I knew what it would have done, I wouldn't have gone on it. And they have not given that choice.
It's masking, isn't it?
Yeah.
Putting you on the hormones isn't, and it does. It's definitely, endometriosis is one of the things where people have said to me they've took the pill and it's helped.
Really? And
I
heard that
can't
too.
argue with that. You have to. It's like what we were talking about in the last episode around sometimes the medication is relevant.
That's right, yeah.
But the point is, it's not a medication that is addressing the root issue. It's a medication that is masking the root issue, because as soon as that woman makes the decision to come off the pill, her endometriosis isn't healed. She's just being masked away from it. And again, same as you know, I can't speak from like a doctor's perspective, but we all know how misinformed we are about, in particular, this one in particular, like endometriosis. When I did my womb yoga course, there's a lady, she's called Uma Dinsmore Tooley. She's written a book like this thick, right? It's called Yoni Shakti. And they talked about all of the different womb diseases and all of the different causes and all of the different things. And she said she got a PhD. I don't know exactly what in, but this is her area of study. Yeah, like I feel like it's something in this. And she said in all of my years and all of the people, and she knew everyone in this space, everyone in womb healing, she was like, there is no answer for endometriosis. But she said one of the things, and I'm sharing this not because I think this is the reason or anyone thingy, but she said one of the things that seemed to ring true was this concept spiritually, an idea of endometriosis being like the misplaced feminine, like the feminine energy, like because it's growing outside of the womb. It's like the loss of the feminine, and it's almost that spiritual representation of that. And there were 3 women in that room who said when they started working on womb healing and feminine energy, their symptoms of endometriosis got less.
No way.
I'm just sharing that story. I am not saying that is the thing. I am just literally sharing that story of like the interesting part. But the most interesting part about that was like the one illness that she kind of said, there's nothing, there's no answer, there's no rhyme, no reason.
And it's never straightforward. It's never the same story. Similar stories, but like, and I've actually brought some stories with me to read a couple out because I think it's important to share awareness. And a lot of people have said to me, like, I did a couple of little, short topics about endo and periods and this and that, and women have messaged me like, thank you so much for bringing awareness about this. And I just want to state, like, I don't have endometriosis, I don't suffer with that, but I see the value in giving a voice to that community and that group of women that might not necessarily be able to show up for themselves because, like some of these women are bedbound, like unable to do, sort of day-to-day tasks. And the options are fucking bleak. Like, there's a lot of people who are getting advised to have full hysterectomies in the young 20s. What do you mean that this is a 21-year-old woman and you're going to remove her whole organ? What do you mean?
Yeah.
That's a treatment option.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's also that part, isn't it, the late diagnosis, because of how... you go in and you say, like, I've gone into the doctors before about painful periods and they've never gone,
what's normal?
Oh, let's get you a scan.
What is normal?
Yeah, it's just been like, well, you will have painful periods.
Yeah.
So these other women, I've never had a diagnosis or checked into it. I don't think I have endometriosis because it's not severe, my pain. I mentioned just before, didn't I? It is severe, but only in the beginning. And, but I could have had. No one ever said, you're struggling. It was like, well, they will be painful.
That's the power of social media and the power of podcasts and the power of this. So back in the day, like, for example, my mum, I hope she doesn't mind me talking about this. Fucking hell, sorry, Mum, if you do.
I don't think she will. I've got no idea.
Well, I hope she doesn't. I hope she doesn't, because it's all for a good cause. So, Mum, just take one for the team, please. But I remember as a teenager, my mum having all kinds of like gynecological issues where it would just be like really severe, heavy, flooding, bleeding, like to the point where she couldn't leave the house because she'd be soaking tampons, like what are those, incontinence pads? Just really bad. And I remember her having hospital appointments in, out, about this like mystery fucking experience of having like too much bleeding. And looking back, like, there is now someone in the family who's been diagnosed with adenomyosis, which is the severe bleeding. So it's basically the endo tissue, but in the wall of the uterus. So instead of growing outside, it's growing within the muscle. And then I look at like my mum and I think, you probably had that. You've probably had that, and no one even questioned to diagnose it. Did they even know what it was back then? It was just constant issues and like keyhole surgeries and this and this and this. How many women have gone through that endless array of things when it could have actually been these conditions?
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? Is there now an epidemic of endometriosis, adenomyosis, chronic pelvic pain, or are we just getting better at diagnosing it?
Probably better at diagnosing it. I don't know the studies. I don't know how it used to be versus how it is now. Obviously, even when I started talking about periods like 10 years ago, I'd say it was still a lot more taboo than what it is now, even 10 years ago. So all them years ago, like, I don't know, we don't have any documentation of it. My mum has told me little things, and she's a bit more open, but she's still not, and that's the generation before me. So I don't think we know. Would people have even gone to the doctors for that data to be there to say, this is what I'm experiencing.
Like
they just kept it to themselves, because there was so much shame associated with it. You know, there still is to a certain degree. You know, we made little jokes before starting, like, oh my God, we're going to talk about periods.
Yeah.
And we're both very fine talking about periods. So I don't know. Is it probably, there's things, it's like anything, isn't it? Like our lifestyles and things like that. You have to be so careful with this stuff. I'm not saying our lifestyles cause those things, but there's a lot of like inflammation in the body and things like that now, which, as we know, 10x's that sort of a thing. So maybe people are experiencing the symptoms on a deeper level. But I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't say genuinely from a statistical perspective.
So inflammation is a really interesting one. And we are, as a race, very inflamed. Like, we are very inflamed, and we don't even realize that we're inflamed, like, and we are very inflamed. And there's so much you can do, and it's going back to, like, I think it was like our first episode or whatever, when it was like, you're looking at all these things, and I was like, if you want to reduce your inflammation, do this, do this, do this, and you're like, too much things to do, I'm just going to stay inflamed. Like, I don't want to do all those things. But inflammation plays a huge part, like, and the more we learn about inflammation, the more we understand that. Now, our endocannabinoid system is only just really scratching the surface. So we've got an endocannabinoid system, and we have CB1, CB2 receptors, right? This is going off on a wild
some
one.
Stuff here. I'm like, okay.
The cannabis plant
has
cannabinoids that interacts with our endocannabinoid system.
Yes.
So it's almost as if, right, our body has the receptors in which to receive the medicinal benefits of this plant, because the two go hand in hand. So I think the CB1 is something like, it influences the gate and the opening of, I'm really fucking this up, I'm so sorry, but it like influences the flow of the receptors going through, whereas the CB2 actually binds with our receptors in the body. So one of them influences the flow, like opens the gate and closes the gate. I've actually done a course on medicinal cannabis.
I think you're explaining it, by the way.
I did a diploma on medicinal cannabis. Not that I want to show off, but I'm going to get one of those little hats.
Hat?
But, you know, what are the little like black square hat things that you have to like throw in the air?
Oh, like a graduation?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like a cannabis hat.
Maybe I'll get one of them too.
like a weed hat for like a cap.
But no, so our endocannabinoid system is, in my opinion, designed to accept this. And we're now, like, up until 20 odd years ago, cannabinoids and cannabis was a use of medicine. Like, it was used in medicine, and then it was like, we're going to criminalize that based on what? One of the earliest descriptions of the use of cannabis, right, was 3,500 years ago on papyrus paper in ancient Egypt. And they used a mixture of cannabis and honey, and they'd wrap it in like something and shove it up the vagina. No way. So it was basically like a CBD pessary 3,500 years ago.
No way.
True facts.
That is so
fact check me.
Someone that. That was a fucking lie.
Well, how interesting is it?
It's so interesting. You floored me a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you get shocked sometimes that I'm actually a bit smart?
No, I've always thought you were smart.
Really?
Yeah.
Many people would disagree, but
no, I do. I think you're smart. You got the smarts.
I'm a knowledge sponge.
You're smart in all the right ways.
Like when I'm not smart.
You're very well articulated. Like sometimes you just say stuff, and I'm like,
she knows words.
I was just gonna be like, yeah, periods hurt, and you're like, did you know?
They're so ouchy.
I haven't got any facts like that. I thought I was the period girl. I don't have any information.
But that's not a period fact. It's more of like a biology fact
healing things
in our body. But I really genuinely believe that these things that have been criminalized, they've been criminalized because the government don't want us to know about it.
Well,
because they want to sell us.
Criminalized, no.
In some places, yes. In some parts, yes, they have, and good.
Yeah.
But you know, like things like CBD pessaries now, like the CBD pessaries, like ones that contain THC, like for medicinal purposes, like fucking unbelievable, like so good to be able to treat pain at the source of the pain. Because smoking cannabis isn't for everybody. Like, although I do believe in its medicinal benefits,
but it obviously has other.
It's got side effects.
Yeah.
Some people go really weird on it.
Yeah.
Some people, you've got psychosis, you can't smoke it.
Yeah.
Personally, if I was to have to smoke weed to get through a painful week, I'd be enormous because I'd be raiding the cupboards. Like the munchies are a real thing. You know, and in that way, it's used to help people with HIV, cancer. Certain cannabinoids are used to encourage appetite for those patients.
Yeah.
Who are, you know, struggling to eat, or because of their illnesses, they can't. So it's honestly like, should we do a podcast on cannabis?
Yeah, it's going that way, but it's mostly you. I haven't got as much to contribute and to say. You know this. I mean, as you know, I'm a big believer in natural remedies and things like that, and the exploration of them. I do think, I agree, like the conspiracy theorist in me is a little bit of agreement, definitely, in the pharmaceutical companies and all of that. But I do also think right now, like there's a lot of studies going on, right, around like medicinal cannabis, around psilocybin, around even ayahuasca and DMT. Like studies are going on. So I don't know.
Maybe we're going in the right
hopefully,
direction.
Like it will evolve into that space, and like they realize that these things, and they just haven't been explored because they're so taboo.
But why? Like, why is something that we have clearly got a receptor for in our body, why is that not as well accepted as... You speak to some of these women who've got endometriosis, right? They will tell you they're on morphine. They will tell you they're on... I've got a friend who's been on a fentanyl patch for 10 years.
What was that show on Netflix?
Which one? Come on, I've watched all of them.
The fentanyl and...
It's called Painkillers.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Painkillers? But that's why, innit? That is at the core why. But then I'm sure someone within the industry and someone who studies the stuff, there's lots of other reasons as well. But there's always the money is first and foremost. That's the why. And then there's probably the lack of studying around some other things as well. And all of that, like different stuff. Fight them.
Should a doctor want to fight them in the middle?
I feel like I do have like strong like opinions, but then you're also like, but sometimes then you're like, am I wrong? Have they not legalized medicinal cannabis in the UK?
Yeah. So it's legal. You need a prescription. So yeah, you are very right. And also actually, the cannabinoid CBD. So everyone's heard about CBD.
Yeah, CBD
mainly because of fucking Katie Price talking about that CBD company that she bangs on all the time. Every other thing. Like a husband was missing and she was like, oh, I'm so glad I've got my CBD gummies. I think he went and had a hair transplant.
Oh.
No, like that's my opinion, but it was like, oh, I'm really sorry, Katie Price, like, you know, God bless you, love. But no, she said he was in the van with cable ties on.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I've been taken, and she was really worried, like she thought he'd been murdered. It must have been a really horrible time for her. And then when he came out, he's like, hi guys, I'm back. And his hairline was like here. And no, swear down. And all his head was frozen with Botox, and everyone was like, hang on, you've been in a fucking Arab jail. You've come out looking...
Is that what he said, that he'd been in an Arab jail?
He said he was in prison, yeah. Honestly, he's come out. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm swearing a lot today.
I haven't noticed, but I do swear a lot.
He come out with his hairline lower, like big, thick, like Johnny Bravo hair and a frozen forehead. And now, like, aesthetic companies using him as like their advert. Like he's not been in jail, he's been with us getting all these treatments. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, CBD is not psychoactive, but let's, you know, it's got a therapeutic benefit. It's well known. So yeah, should we circle back to periods?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I just don't have any...
No,
I agree with you. Like,
I've ranted there.
I think, but it's great, and you've been very well like educated.
I hope someone's
on it.
learned
like,
something.
There's a lot of good information, and I think the main thing to say about it, if you were going to wrap it up, is that it is a potential solution to the pain that isn't painkillers.
That's not morphine.
Like that's not morphine, and more painkillers, like just being like pumped through your body constantly, because again, you're just really masking, like, you know, what is there. So yeah.
Like talking about periods and what is normal, and it's that, like, okay, let's circle back to I love your insight on periods and womb healing and all that. So what we accept as normal, like who writes the rule book on that? Because
so many of the books that I read, like, because I went through a phase of when I was about 26, when I like just got so into womb healing, and I was like, oh my God, this plethora of information that I never knew about, and the different phases of the cycle, and it blew me away, and I became like hyper fixated onto it. And I read so many books, and consistently in every single one of those books they say, whilst these symptoms may be common, they are not normal.
So what? Give us examples.
Pain,
severe
pain.
So that's not normal. A painful period is not normal.
A lot of the doctors that I've read these books on would consider it not to be common. but not normal.
Okay.
Not to the point where you're like, the most common thing that I would read is that people would say your period should last maybe like 3 to 5 days, 3 to 7 days. Shouldn't have any pain. If it's pain, it shouldn't bear in mind, this is just information I'm relaying. I'm not saying this to anybody who's experiencing it or to shame you. Shouldn't stop you living life. Like you shouldn't not be able to go to work and like do different things because you're on your period. Like, you know, just all the symptoms that are there that are so fucking mental.
Like bloating, things like that, do you mean? Yeah, like severe bloating.
There's this one book, I think it's called Her Blood is Gold. No, it's the wrong book. It's the wrong book.
Like a nice book.
But there's one that I read, like a lot of the ones I was reading were very spiritual. And then this one in particular was from a very doctor's lens. And she was just like, no, like it just shouldn't be this way. Like the things that we're saying, like, oh yeah, that's fine. And that's you're like, it's not.
Yeah.
You know, the cravings, the overeating,
Really? That's not normal? Oh, I lean into that. I fucking love that.
But my view on that,
dairy milk.
I genuinely, right, people are going to hate me for this.
Why? Oh no.
I don't get cravings pre-period.
I do hate you. I don't really.
I don't. And that's since I really, really, really fixed my diet. And I'm not saying that this is the right thing, but I focused onto like more protein, different things like that. And if I do, maybe when I'm on my period, I sometimes want dark chocolate. Like, but I'm talking like a couple of squares. I don't binge out. And I don't think that we should normalize that.
No.
Because I do think it is your body screaming for nutrients. Like, and I think genuinely that most women don't eat enough, never mind enough nutrients.
100%.
And then you reach that point just before they've been starving themselves. And then your body is like, oh, and it's a perfect opportunity. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, by the way, and have that little moment. And I do get a little bit more hungry the week before my cycle, but I just know that I'm a little bit more hungry because I'm due on my cycle and I'll eat a little bit, probably more carbs. But through going through that experience in my own body, and I used to do it and I don't now, I'm like, well, then there must be a solution for it. You know what I mean? And I feel like the things that we crave are indicative to the nutrients that we need, because your body isn't really screaming out for a packet of Mawams, is it? Like, it's not. Your body doesn't need that.
I want the fruit.
Like, yeah, but it needs energy. That's what it needs. It probably needs carbohydrates, and so many women are still afraid of carbs and fats.
Oh, so much.
And you need carbs and fats. You need fats so much for your hormones.
Yeah, I eat butter, like butter, whole milk, like loads of yogurts. The fat-free, I was gonna say an epidemic, but I feel like I've used that word twice now, so I don't want to like overkill. Okay. But yeah, the fat-free, everyone was like, oh, fat is bad, let's take fat out of stuff. This stuff is fat-free, eat it. But all they did was when they took the fat out, they replaced it with sugar so that the flavour stayed the same. Mm-hmm. So you're eating fat-free things, but you're eating things that are full of sugar now.
It's the concept and idea as well. And I have this saying where I always say, right, about women, where I'm like, it's not things are sometimes your fault, but things are not your fault. But we have been so wildly miseducated and misinformed about our bodies.
Oh, yeah.
And about what we need to be eating. And you hear the word fat, and I used to have it so bad. And I'd eat food and I'd feel like I was getting fat while I was eating the food.
Oh, me too,
Where now I'm like, I need the fats, I need the carbs, I need the protein, I need the fibre. There's no one like part of the food that isn't. Every single bit of your body, the protein is the building blocks. The fats, you know, so many women are struggling with like libido and things like that.
Yeah.
The fats is
it?
Yeah. It's what builds your hormones, basically. Again, I don't want to butcher it. You need the carbs for energy. You need the fibre so you can shit. You know, you need it all. There's not one thing that needs to be evicted out from your. And I think if we did have it's that conversation what we've had prior, isn't it? Of like, we're misinformed and blah, 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 blah. But those core staple things are always going to support you. Whilst they might not fix everything, they are going to help in your journey along things. Like myself, for example, right? I still have that first half of my day where it's super painful. But I would say almost every other symptom that I have associated with my cycle is not there. It doesn't impact my life. I'm on day 26, I think, today. It used to be hell. It used to be the worst day of my life, and it's not now.
That's really positive, and I do agree with you about diet playing a huge role. I do, and if I'm really honest, and I think if a lot of women are really honest with themselves, they don't do the right thing when it comes to fueling the body. They just don't. They don't have enough variety. They don't have enough diversity. there's a lot of shame around it. Like the week before my period, I'm going to hold my hands up. Like I indulge the fact that I'm like, oh, it's an excuse. I can eat shit. But speaking to you, listening to that, I'm like, realistically, what benefit is that bringing me? It's just I'm not treating my body with any sort of love or respect because I'm putting things in it that aren't necessarily good
Not
for
only
it.
that, you're probably really misbalancing your blood sugars, which is probably making the moods worse.
Yeah.
That was, again, I said, didn't I, about getting someone on who's an expert in blood sugars, because that fascinated me when I started eating like regular meals and eating properly. And I feel it now when my blood sugars start to go like a bit funny. Yeah. And I'm like, I need to eat something. Where like in the past, I don't know, I probably would have drank a coffee.
Oh God. Hi, I'm on my third one now. What did I do? I bought a, what's it called? Like one of these fucking fitness plans online. And when the diet got sent through, I was like, fucking hell, that's a lot of food.
Yeah.
And I genuinely felt like that was too much food for me to be eating, because what I was doing is having a black coffee in the morning. I was going training in the gym. I was lifting weights. I wouldn't eat till after 12 o'clock. And then I wondered why I was a hot mess, right? When I started eating regular meal, eating before the gym, which I thought I could never do. And I think one of the things on the diet plan was like a bagel thin with jam on it. And I was like, I am not fucking eating carbs and sugar. I'm not eating a bagel thin with jam on.
Yeah.
I felt fantastic.
Perfect for fueling you for the gym.
A rice cake with jam on, who knew? And I actually could lift heavy.
Yeah. Lift more. Yeah.
But I fell back into that now. Like, I'm like, oh, I wouldn't eat that now. But realistically, if I just ate more at the level I'm training, I would probably lose more weight.
Well, that's what they say, isn't it? Because ultimately, people so often think they're not eating a lot because they won't. They won't eat in the day. And then in the night, they'll binge. And I always say, I have this theory, because so many women struggle around binging, right? And if you binge, please listen to this. I just think that women don't eat enough and their body is starving, and then they binge, and then they think it's a them issue and it's a survival issue, and the next day they wake up and they don't eat again, and then they binge again, and it's this never-ending cycle. And I'm so into mindset and psychology, and there may be some emotional reasons behind your binging, but I would 95% of the time guarantee that your body is just searching for the nutrients it needs in order to survive, because that's how we work as human beings.
Will you do an ebook?
In the past, we would have found an ebook
on food and diet. I'll buy it.
I'm making an ebook at the moment.
Take
it's
my
got
money.
A small bit about diet, because I am so passionate about it. And many years ago, you know, hunter-gatherers and all that, we would have went and got a whole load of berries, but we don't now. We open the cupboard, there's a whole load of biscuits and sweets. So then women are spiraling like, I just can't control myself. And it's like, you're just fucking hungry. You're so hungry, your body needs something. You know, when I was training recently with a PT, and this fascinated me beyond belief, right? Because, as I say, and people are so going to hate me for this, I don't really get cravings. I genuinely, hand on heart. Yeah, I used to.
So you don't now?
No, but leading up to my cycle now, I'd be like, I want like some lamb and sweet potato. I swear to God. But when I started training with, I was training with my friend, and I said to him, I fill out like this form, and I said to him, not a big deal. I said, but I've been craving chocolate. And I was like, not that I've got an issue about that. I was just eating a bar of chocolate. This one day, it was so cute. I walked myself all the way to the shop and bought myself a flake. And I was like, oh,
flake's the worst one. Like if you're craving chocolate.
Little thing. Why is it the worst one?
I don't know. What a rubbish chocolate bar.
I love a flake.
Just like hardly there.
Like, I'm not saying I don't eat chocolate, by the way. I feel like I'm making myself sound like the fucking queen. I eat chocolate and I will eat sweets and I will eat cakes, but I don't go like, oh my God, I need to get to the shop. So anyway, I said to him, I'm craving chocolate, and every day I'm eating a little bit of chocolate, which I wasn't bothered about. It fitted in my calories, yada, yada, yada. And he was like, let me check your carbs. And he was like, you're not eating enough carbs.
Really?
It's probably looking for energy. I upped my carbs and I stopped craving the chocolate.
No way.
So like your body is intelligently doing something all the time. Now, only being where I am now, 10 years ago, I'd have spiraled. I'd have been like, I'm training and I've gone out and I've had a flake and I'm so embarrassed. And imagine someone saw me with this flake, and like spiraled. And he was just like, it's probably your energy. Like, and he was also like, it's no issue if you are eating the chocolate, but it's probably, and it was that. And it always is. Like, and it takes a little while to get there. But, you know, I was vegan for 10 years. I think you know that, right?
I remember that, yeah.
Fuck.
I think I was there for the transition from when you was a vegan to when you started eating meat again. Wow. You had a glow up.
Honestly.
Didn't you? Right, when did you stop being vegan? Because I think I was present in your life.
You were present in my life. I was about 30, so you're only talking 4 years ago.
Yeah, I was there.
So this place that I'm speaking from now is very new. Very, very new. Or maybe I was a little bit under 30. No, I was 30. And I remember the first time I ate an egg, and this is no joke, right? I ate Greek yogurt, and I nearly cried into the Greek yogurt because I knew my body needed it. And all these years there were all these issues that I'd had, and I'm not just saying it's being vegan, right? Maybe I wasn't being vegan in the right way, but there were so many issues that I had. Like, you know, people talk about like being an introvert and being tired all the time, and I so had that identity, and I think it was a blood sugar issue.
No way.
I don't think I had what I needed in my body to fuel myself, so I would go to stuff. Like, I never used to understand how people could eat like just one biscuit.
Oh, I can't understand.
Couldn't get to grips with it. No. Couldn't understand how, like, you know, if my family got like chips from the chippy, it was like this big thing for me. And like my sister would just like have a chip butty and be done with it. But I was like, oh my God. And I did have some sort of eating disorder issues as well. But like now I'm just regulated around food. It's not a big thing in my life because I eat enough. And the only time I ever get ravenous is if I didn't have enough protein in my meal. And it's fascinating to me, and I think it was heartbreaking when I realized, and I started to age really rapidly, and then I was starting to read more about like collagen and different things like that, and then I just remember I'd started with like eggs and yogurt, and I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it, the transformation. And
did we go to that restaurant in Portugal?
Mm-hmm.
And was that like one of your, did you eat like some duck or something? And then you told me about the fact that you'd literally just started eating meat again.
Possibly, because I went through a bit of a process. Like I had an egg first.
And then a bit of Greek yogurt.
And then the Greek yogurt.
So you was
and then
like
I was just having chicken. Yeah, I was totally vegan for like 10 years. Then I started having chocolate.
What?
I meant to say chicken. Then I was having some chocolate.
Yeah, well, that's not
Then
vegan.
I started having chicken, and then I went on to steak. And there was a point in my life where I ate steak every single day, and 2 of my periods I didn't have any pain. But I don't crave steak as much now. I don't eat as much red meat.
But yeah, at the time
I eat a lot of fish and chicken, not because I'm against it. I just don't. It just doesn't. It's not what I'm drawn to.
So the reason that you was a vegan was the reason you started to become a vegan ethical, or was it
animals? Yeah. And it's a little bit of a conflict for me now, but I'm just
is it still a conflict? Yeah.
Yes and no, because I can see that my body clearly needs it, and I think also the vegan era died. Right. I'm sorry if you're vegan, but on some layer you're probably experiencing these things too, and you can probably feel it in your body. I think that the industry is wrong, and I think there's a lot of things wrong, but it just loops into so many things that are wrong with the world anyway. Like, yeah, I would love to have a farm and have things, but it's just not the way of the world. So what are we supposed to do? And I saw the detriment. I don't believe that you can get what you need on a vegan diet.
So I had a conversation, right? And I don't know whether to be brutally honest here and just overexpose myself. What do you reckon? Flip a coin.
Yeah, I'm scared.
No, it's just because I'm going to admit that I've done something. Okay, maybe I'll miss that bit out, right?
What have you done?
No. No, because I believe in it. And maybe...
In what?
Plant medicines.
Oh, I feel like we spoke about it a lot.
So just go for it.
I think so.
When I first met Phil, right, and this, I know I mentioned him again. We need a Phil jar. We've loaded.
Phil jar.
No, this is important. He's obviously a huge part of my life.
Jingle.
A lot of my experiences for the last nearly 10 years have going to involve Phil. So a lot of my stories, unfortunately, guys, if you're not a Phil lover, switch off now. But he said, the problem with vegans is that they are trying to impose their ideology.
That's going to get clipped.
Yeah, the problem with vegans. Oh, guys, just here, let me finish the story and it's not that bad. It's like the problem with vegans is that they try and push this, you shouldn't eat absolutely anything at all, never.
Yeah.
When realistically, what they should be doing is like, right, okay, you're a meat eater. Can we be a more ethical meat eater? Mm-hmm. Can we make better choices? Instead of eating meat 3 meals a day, every single day, can we reduce that? And he said to me, is like, I think all meat eaters would agree we're against the way that the animals are treated. We don't like the way that they're treated because no. Do I like factory farming? No. I spend a lot more money now on organic meat because I'm so aware of the way that the animals are treated. It goes against how I feel about, that's not nice. Why are they being like cattle shipped off everywhere? It's so gross. Don't like it. I'm so with vegans on that. That's gross. We don't like that. It's barbaric. Why are we treating living beings like that? In an organic sense, okay, they might say, well, why are you killing them in the first place? All right, but if you've had a nice life, if they've been able to like roam free, pasteurized, all that, if that's a word, do all that, then that's fine. And then he went, maybe there should be a charity. And I was like, what? He's like, I'm going to set up a charity. And I don't think he is. And I'm really sorry if I've just give you a business idea away. Or maybe I'll like, what is it called? Patent it now. He went, I'm going to call it Meat. I went, so you're going to call a charity Meat?
Genius.
Meat Eaters Against Torture.
Oh.
And that came to him.
Yeah, we've gone off on such a tangent here.
Yeah.
There's an issue with the industry, but there's an issue with every industry, and the way that we live is crazy. Like it's so far from nature, isn't it? But the reality is, if we were to move back to nature, we would not living off chickpeas.
We're not living off Beyond Burgers.
We're not. That was not the vibe.
That is another thing. Like, if you're going to be a vegan, at least be a healthy one. Like, I think my friend tried to be a vegan once and she was like, I'm literally just eating loads of Oreos because they're vegan. And I'm like,
yes, but again, because your energy levels crash, so you're searching for stuff. Like, I do think it can be done, but it's hard. I think in a different country as well. Like if you lived in like Barbados or something, I reckon you could be. Like, have you seen that guy? Is it Maccabeus? I don't even know if he's actually vegan, but he does like songs about cucumbers and that.
Oh,
but he's like Jamaican.
That one.
Yeah. You know what I mean? If I was in Jamaica and I could just pull a mango off the tree, like probably.
I would.
But like it's rough out here, you know what I mean? With Celtic people, or I am.
Yeah.
You're not. You're Spanish.
I've not mentioned it.
Anyway, we're not talking about periods anymore.
No, right. Well, let me swing it back.
Will help your periods.
Let me bring it back. So this is so funny, and I'm not going to try and sing it. And I've shown David before. That video I sent you before, and it's like, I forgot how it goes. They sent a woman
you can play
into
it.
space.
No,
can we play it? Are we allowed?
Are we allowed? I'm a bit more self-conscious today of like while I'm looking on this.
No, it's fine.
Paddy pad.
Okay, so this was so funny and I loved this so much. You're probably not going to see the video, but the sound is going to be incredible. So this is a video that I found online. And
you could tag the video, I think, in like the...
Okay.
Remember when NASA sent a woman to space for only 6 days and they gave her 100 tampons. 100 tampons.
Saves like that.
And they asked, will that be enough? Because they didn't know if that was enough. These are our nation's greatest minds. They are literally rocket scientists. 100 tampons.
How amazing was that?
Piece of information, I do not use tampons.
Can we go back to that? Right, first of all, that is absolutely hysterical, and I really hope we can fact check that and it's real. That someone
I think it's real. I've heard that before.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Is that because they think it in case she gets stuck, or is that because people
probably just didn't know?
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
100 tampons for 6 days.
Yeah.
Come on.
In Stuart's bar, we have this little thing with her girls' stuff in it, and there's just pads in it. And he told me the other day that half of the tampons were gone, and I was like, well, there's no tampons in it, so how could half the tampons be gone? And he was
Why
like,
would he not put tampons in a bar?
Well, he was like, well, what are they then? And I was like, they're pads.
Have you seen that trend on TikTok where she goes, oh, babe, can you go to the shop and get me pads with wings? And they come back and they've got sandwich towels with like chicken wings.
Chicken wings, yeah.
And she's like, babe, I asked you for pads and wings. And he's like, pads and wings. And she's like, no, pads with wings. And he's like, and he just doesn't get it.
Yeah.
No, right, okay. So are you, what are those cup girls?
No.
No?
Just pads now. I used
what about
to do
period
the
knickers?
cups. I used to sell the cups.
Did you?
But in the end, because I get pain as well, something about tampons, I just never vibed with. I never liked the idea of them. I'm not going to say that.
Go on.
I've never had some of the issues that women often speak about, such as like thrush and BV, and I don't get it. And I think that's because I don't use tampons.
Really?
Yeah. They dry out like the inner lining, like libido, people not being able to get wet.
The fact that this toxic shock
syndrome. It came out information that there's carcinogens in the tampons, and the medical world would argue and say it's not enough carcinogens. Like I don't want any. I don't want any.
I'll have none, thanks.
I'll have no carcinogens in my vagina, thank you. So yeah, I've just never vibed with it. I used to use the cups. I do like the cups, but I found that they were giving me a little bit more pain because naturally your body tries to push it out, right? Correct. So I was getting more pain. So I use either the knickers or the pads. Knickers or the pads.
The knickers have changed my life. Mm-hmm. I love them.
Unbelievable.
Literally, where have they been all my life?
They're so good. And they're so normalised now as well. Like, people are just fine with them. I mean, some of my friends are like, so when you just sit in your periods, and it's just like...
Yeah, I do. I'll sit in my period, and it's great. Love it. Like, first I started just wearing them at night.
Yeah.
Fab, never leaks. Like, when you're wriggling around and you like, the pads, like, end up stuck to your head in the morning. But the knickers are just there. You don't leak.
They're so good.
Where does the blood go? They absorb so much.
Is unbelievable.
What?
Yeah, they're so good.
What kind of witchcraft is this?
I don't know. They are really good. I'm quite passionate about them.
But no, me too. Let's get a sponsor for period knickers.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. If you want to sponsor us and you have a period knicker brand, we want you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll take some free period knickers.
Yeah.
With tampons, I do use organic ones.
Yeah. Better.
Obviously.
Definitely. Yeah.
But is there still like bleach on them?
I don't know. To be honest, this is one of them things, right? Do you ever have things in life where if someone was like to me, why, and they wanted to fight me about it, I'd be like, it's not that I think you shouldn't. I just don't.
Oh no, I think so people shouldn't put
really know that much information about them. They just never really felt right to me. So that's why I don't use them. So the organic ones, are going to be better, aren't they? And I guess it depends on what you're into.
Going back to ancient Egypt, because that's definitely my vibe. Maybe we'll close on this. Have we been speaking for about an hour? Yeah, okay, we'll close on this then.
I feel like there's so much about periods.
I know, you really wanted to talk. Do you want to say some stuff about periods? Right.
Maybe we can talk another time about
we can keep going. Okay, we'll keep going.
Shall we though? Because people might be bored.
No. Let me just tell you this fact.
Yeah.
Well, we've only done short podcasts. It might be high time we do a long one. Right. So back to ancient Egypt. I'm fascinated by it and I love it. And I've got loads of ancient Egypt facts. But one of them, so yes, they used to...
Egyptian.
I think I was in a past life. They obviously they used to do that with the CBD, the honey and all that, but like ancient Egypt, a lot of ancient cultures, they would twist and wrap cotton, papyrus and use them as essentially tampons when they were bleeding, because ancient women had periods. They didn't have tampons or sanitary towels or period knickers. What did they just bleed out? Like, no, they obviously had to find a ancient solution. Right, come on. I know your vibes, periods. I feel like I've really...
I don't know. I think we should wrap it up. I think it could be a different conversation.
I've hijacked
it's
this
like
podcast
long.
today.
You haven't?
I have.
You haven't?
It's all about me.
I've enjoyed it. No, I think we should do it a different time where we talk about the inner seasons, because it's long.
Okay.
And talking about like PMS and the luteal phase and stuff, it's long.
Yeah.
I feel like it would make it too long, and these women have got busy lives. Or if there's any men out there.
Hey Dave, did you find that interesting?
Is there any men out
there?
There
you go. We have our first male
Where are you in your cycle right now?
Due on.
So am I.
I bought a Dime Bar Dairy Milk
next week. I genuinely, everyone's going to hate me for this, so Stuart bought a Dime Bar. Do you know what? Listen to this. You'll like this question. I said to Stuart the other day, if you were a chocolate bar, what chocolate bar would you be and why? And anyway, he asked me it back. I can't even remember his answer because I'm just self-obsessed. I just wanted to answer for myself. And I said I'd be a Cadbury's Dairy Milk Dime Bar.
Would you? Why?
Not the Dime Bar. Because people like it, but that... like the dime bit gets stuck in your teeth, and it can also be like a little bit annoying, but like if you persevere with it, it's a really enjoyable experience.
I just don't know what I'd be. I think I'd be a Boost Bar because it's my favourite one.
A Boost Bar?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't know what you'd be.
I wouldn't be a fucking flake.
You'd be like a Yorkie or a flake. Yeah, I would.
The shittest chocolate
I
ever.
love flakes.
Right guys, thanks for listening. Episode, is it 3, that one?
Episode 3.
Okay, thank you.
Comment below where you are in your cycle today.
Yeah, good shout.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get some... Oh, I didn't even read my stories or anything.
Fuck's sake.
No, I'm good. Right, we're gonna close this. I'm gonna read.
Do another period podcast.
Do you reckon? Okay, let's do another period podcast.
There's a lot to be said.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.